What's up everyone, welcome back to more Reddit stories about Karens, crazy people, and everything in between. Hope you're all doing awesome, and as usual, we got some more Reddit posts to check out today. So feel free to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments, and we're getting right into it. Claimed my idea as his own, so I made sure he had to defend it. I was a member of a student-run entrepreneurship club, where we submitted company concepts and competed against other schools. We were preparing for a regional presentation, and during one of our brainstorming sessions, I had an idea for a budgeting software that monitored roommate spending in real time. Everyone enjoyed it, even our team leader, Bryce. At the next meeting, Bryce shows up and says, "Okay, I've been thinking, what if we do a budgeting app for roommates?" I paused and said, "Yeah, that's what I said last week." He grinned and said, No, this version's different. I mean, I developed it a little further." But he didn't. It was my idea word for word. Still, he insisted and nobody wanted to argue, so I just stayed quiet. Here's where the revenge comes in. Bryce volunteered to do the pitch deck presentation for the panel, and I was supposed to send him the updated breakdown and mock-up slides the night before, but I didn't. I waited until an hour after the presentation time and then sent him a message saying, "Sorry, thought you had it figured out since it was your idea." According to our faculty advisor, Bryce stood in front of the judges and completely flailed. There were no visuals, no user flow, just a vague pitch with no substance. One of the panelists even politely roasted him, asking, "Is this still in the idea phase or are you actually building something?" Afterward, he tried to act like it was a group mix-up. I just said, "Hey, next time give credit where it's due." We still placed, thanks to the rest of the team, but Bryce acted like it was all his doing. He shrugged off the whole thing and said, "Well, I guess I just need to refine my presentation skills." It was infuriating to watch him act so entitled, like he hadn't just flopped because he tried to take credit for my idea. After that, he continued to act as if he were the star of the show, insisting that we should all be grateful he was leading the team, but the rest of us knew the truth. My roommate tried to give me a deadly allergic reaction over coffee creamer. I have been living with an older woman, 50s, for about 7 months now. I am moving in about 3 months because the lease is up and she's moving out and I can't take over. About a week ago, she interrupted me during a work call. She proceeded to rant and have a breakdown about coffee creamer. I don't drink coffee a lot, maybe twice a month at most. In the 7 months I have lived with her, I have used her coffee creamer at most 5 or 6 times for a small mug of coffee. When I moved in, she said if I ever needed something in the fridge, feel free to use it. I've never used any of her other stuff. She wanted to tell me that she put a line on her coffee creamer and caught me. She acted as if I wouldn't admit to using it. It's a $3 bottle of creamer. I told her I was sorry and that I didn't know that it was a big deal. I would pay her back for the creamer. In the same conversation, she told me that she bought me a bottle after she noticed me drinking it. I look in the fridge and there is an open bottle with maybe an inch of creamer in it and 2 unopened bottles. Big mention. I am severely allergic to a sweet spice ingredient that's in a lot of stuff. It's very common and it's a flavor. She knows about this because I told her, as well as sat her down and explained how my EpiPens work because it's that bad. There was an unopened bottle with that specific flavor, so I know that's not the one she bought for me. There is another one unopened that is a completely unrelated flavor. A week goes by and I haven't touched it, because honestly, after the huge argument, I didn't want to take anything from her, even if she claims she's giving it to me. But then I'm thinking I don't want it to go bad because what if she doesn't use it? So while she's gone, I go and grab it. It's open and half full. That's fine, she did buy it, I'm not mad. But as I shake the bottle, I feel something moving inside that is not creamer. I take the lid off and using my flashlight on my phone, I look inside. The spice I am allergic to, in its raw form, is floating around inside the creamer. The smell is strong. This woman tried to give me a deadly allergic reaction over a $3 bottle of coffee creamer. I'm so glad I'm moving. Crazy neighbor stalking kids. So I, 26 female, live in an area where the elementary school is extremely close, and as such, most of the neighboring kids walk to school in groups together. It's in a highly public street in a smaller town. My neighbor, who we will call Karen, stopped my nieces on their way to school, made them go back to their home with her, and then yelled at my sister for making them walk to school by themselves. They are 10 and it's less than a quarter-mile walk. then claimed that someone in my sister's house was abusing them because they didn't want to go back to their house when they were supposed to be going to school. As a result of this, my nieces were 30 minutes late for school and missed breakfast, delaying her insulin. After that, she did the same thing to at least 3 other families, was caught sneaking around the school grounds at the elementary school, harassing people at the store, which culminated after school when she started trying to take other people's kids from the bus stop and telling parents that they should walk away and let her talk with their kids alone, quote, "if you have a heart," her words, which resulted in police taking her and having her admitted for a 72-hour involuntary psych hold at the hospital. This was the quietest 3 days in the past 2 weeks since it started. More of this type of stuff has been going on more or less every day for the past 2 weeks. Police come each time, proceed to do nothing, saying it's a psych case and that their hands are tied, letting this woman harass everyone's kids. The day she got out, she started looking at the stuff stored around other people's houses and telling them they need to get rid of stuff, tried entering another neighbor's house to record their stuff and their kids, continuing to harass kids passing her house, although a little less now because all the local families have been walking or driving their kids to school. Police have been monitoring our road and keep saying, next time she does something, they're gonna arrest her. That was 5 somethings ago. And this morning, I get woken up to find out that she was recording footage of my nieces walking to school. I was seeing red and rushed out the door. Luckily for her, the cops found her first, and proceeded to basically walk her home without taking anyone's statement, where she is still sitting with her door open right now. Update. Yesterday, the cop took my sister's statement and told her that nothing that Karen is doing is illegal, despite the DA having said himself that what happened would constitute at minimum attempted kidnapping. So after having the same cop refuse to do anything about this for 2 weeks as this woman terrorizes our kids in full view of their parents, we have been walking them to school. We began protesting the police's lack of action. The cop did not like that. Karen took offense to, well, our signs did say a crazy lady lived nearby, but didn't give any identifiable details except for the fact that she was acting crazy in public while we were protesting, shoved her phone in my face, which I smacked away without touching her. Then she left after, and her boyfriend walked up talking about how he is picking up litter by people's houses, which he is neither paid to do nor has asked for anyone's consent to do, and how he looks into people's windows and how the way people are out here, everyone needs a CPS report. We will get back to this key detail, and how he is a lawyer. He is not, and how he is coaching Karen on what to say to police. He then sat with Karen. It's worth noting that yes, I was recording the whole interaction for evidence the whole time. After that, it went rather quietly. First day, it was mostly me, my sister, and my brother outside protesting. At one point, the cop comes up and says you can show that sign to any adults you want, but if you show it to kids, then you're no better than she is, as she walked off. Fast forward to the next day. I walk my nieces to school with their mom because they had a school trip and left early. I noticed Karen out patrolling the neighborhood. So given that the cop explicitly stated that she wasn't doing anything illegal in doing so, I said, screw it, and walked roughly half a block away from her behind her the way around. Eventually she crossed the street and I walked home. I proceeded to grab my stuff and started walking to work to grab some stuff and maybe get a few drinks. Just about as soon as I get off my road, I spot Karen, and just as a state trooper passes by, she starts crying and yelling at the trooper to help her. At this point, I was trying to walk by on the other side of the road. She is claiming that I am harassing her and bringing up the point that I swatted the phone from her hand, and trying to get me charged with assault over it. The state trooper called in to City PD, and basically took both sides' statements while she waited and was pretty professional. Although she was clear that she was just waiting with us until City PD showed up. I told her how the woman was terrorizing our kids and she seemed concerned. All the while, Karen is yelling across the street about how bad it looks for me that the cop is on the side I am on, while she's standing by the cruiser. Then the cop pulls up, takes her statement, looks at the recordings from the local cameras, tells me to crop out and send her the part of my video where I swat the phone from the woman's hand, and she will get back to us. I sent the cop the video. A few minutes later, she shows up at my door saying that what I did was an arrestable offense, but apparently grabbing kids on the sidewalk isn't. At which point, I held out my arms and told the cop, if you think this is arrestable, arrest me. At which point, she said, but the other woman says she doesn't want to press charges. Karen was screaming about wanting to press charges on the street. I doubt she changed her mind that quick. I inform her on her walk back to her cruiser that I will be protesting again as school lets out. During today's protest, Karen was rather quiet, and the cop, as well as a few other units who have been more active for all of 30 minutes while school is starting and kids are heading in and 30 minutes when they leave, drove by slowing down to stare at us as we protested. This time, all the mothers from each of the families whose kids have been harassed were there, 7 people in total, and some of them I didn't know about, including one who Karen tried to take her 3-year-old from their car. As we are protesting, I see someone walk up to us from behind, asking to see one of the parents, the one who lives closest to where we are protesting. It was CPS. Turns out Karen put in something like 32 CPS reports in one day on all the parents near us. The CPS worker came up, read the sign, talked with us for a bit as we explained the situation, and left, knowing that Karen's story of, quote, multiple suitcases full of all kinds of drugs was made up. After she left, we called the DA, who says he is going to have her arrested on charges of making false CPS reports and impersonating a CPS worker, since that was her story for trying to break into people's houses, but that it is going to take time. I plan to continue protesting until at the very least that woman is arrested. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. So take care, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one.